And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch. Turn that off.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Well, you just saw Kamala Harris being unserious, fatuous, silly, ridiculous. She's woke. She's telling everybody how to be a woman and be a bitch at the same time. You know what I think? She's not a good role model for girls. Do you want your daughter to be like Kamala Harris? Boy, I hope not. You know, Kamala Harris didn't get to where she is by hard work, even though she made a speech in Detroit, which I'm going to play a snippet of in a second, about how everything takes hard work. No, back in 1994, here she is with Willie Brown. He was 61 and she's 30, and he was married too. He was the Speaker of the California State Assembly, later to become the mayor of San Francisco. And he was having sex with Kamala, and he put her into cushy jobs with high pay, and she didn't have to work for it. She couldn't earn it because nobody ever liked her. Nobody still likes her. 92% of her staff in the first 3 years of her vice presidency quit. They can't stand her. She's mean, she's unprepared, she's short-tempered, she drops F-bombs. Back when she was Attorney General in California, people had to call her General. They weren't allowed to look her in the eye. That's who Kamala Harris is. Here she is in Detroit talking about how she's going to bring down prices when she's president. Well, she's been vice president for 3.5 years, and she and Joe caused the inflation.
A future where we build a broad-based economy where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, and to build wealth. And understand, in this fight, we are joyful warriors. Because while fighting for a brighter future may take hard work, we all here know hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families, so they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because look, while our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, it will be my day one priority to fight to bring down prices, to take on the big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging, take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families, to take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. That is the work we will do together.
So my question is, Kamala, if you're going to bring down prices with your magic wand when you're a president, why didn't you do it when you were vice president? In fact, you caused the inflation. Inflation is caused by spending, borrowing, and printing money. That's what causes inflation. Here's Kamala Harris back in November of 2021 explaining inflation.
prices have gone up. And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously.
As you can see, she has no idea what she's talking about on any subject. In fact, if you look at her campaign website, KamalaHarris.com, look, no policy positions at all. None. On the other hand, look at Donald Trump's website, DonaldJTrump.com. He has a 20-point plan for what he would do as president. You can read it in a lot of detail. That's what a serious person does. I'm running for president. This is what's wrong, and here's how I'm going to fix the problems. So far, she's done no media interviews. It's 19 days since she was anointed as the presidential candidate for the Democrat Party? None. Last I heard, she's going to schedule one by the end of August. This is August 9th. That's 3 more weeks to go. Trump did a press conference yesterday. It was over an hour long. I think he had over 40 questions. She doesn't do that because she can't. This is Kamala Harris. Is she the role model you want for your daughter? I hope not. You judge people by the company they keep. She chose as her running mate Tim Walz. The news has come out that he is guilty of stolen valor. He was not a command sergeant major in the Minnesota National Guard. He lied. He also said he was part of Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Another lie. The Stolen Valor Act of 2013 would put him in jail, in prison. Do you think he's going to end up there? No. But he's a communist. Watch this interview between Jesse Waters of Fox News and Peter Schweitzer, who knows more about China than anybody.
Peter Schweitzer is the president of the Government Accountability Institute. How suspicious are you of this Walz-China relationship, Peter?
Well, we're basically 48 hours into this, Jesse, and it's already quite disconcerting. Because what I would say the key component here is not just his ties to China, but his ties to the Chinese Communist Party. As you point out, he had this student exchange program. It was funded by the Chinese government. All exchanges by the Chinese government are managed by the CCP. And if you look at some of the local news reporting in the Midwest of students who attended that program, they explain how Walz told them that they were to, quote unquote, downplay their Americanness when they visited China, which is an odd thing to say if you're engaging in cultural exchange. I mean, you wouldn't say to a Chinese national coming to the United States, downplay your Chinese nature. So, this has all the hallmarks of a close association with the CCP. As you pointed out, he gave a speech in 2019 to a known United Front group that's linked to Chinese intelligence. We also know that when he was inaugurated as governor of Minnesota, he invited Chinese diplomats to attend those events. And then you've got the issue of these Chinese police stations that we've heard about. You've reported on them. There's 7 of them in the United States, these illegal police stations that are designed to intimidate Chinese nationals in the United States. One of them is in the Twin Cities, and it's actually run by an entity that is allied with something called Minnesota Global, which is a pro-Walz organization. Now, Governor Walz has denounced the police department in the Twin Cities for their brutality. He's done nothing about this unofficial Chinese police station. It just shows the willingness he will go to appease the Chinese government. And you know, Jesse, the thing about it is you look at his statements on China, his defenders will say, oh, well, he raises issues of human rights in China. He really doesn't. He'll talk about an occasional case, but he engages in this ridiculous moral equivalence. On the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, when he was on the floor of Congress, when he was serving, he brought this up. He said, yeah, the Tiananmen Square massacre happened, but every country has done this sort of thing. And he brought up Wounded Knee in the United States. Now, in Wounded Knee, 38 Native Americans were butchered in 1863, and it became a national disgrace. In Tiananmen Square, 10,000 Chinese nationals were butchered. And in fact, the president of China now, President Xi's wife, who's a famous singer in China, she actually serenaded the troops after the massacre, applauding them for what they had done. So to equate the two and say somehow that Wounded Knee is like Tiananmen Square is a ridiculous comparison, and he knows better.
Yeah, and got married on the date of Tiananmen Square. Unbelievable. I mean, both incidents despicable, but not comparable. Great investigative reporting, Peter. You're the only one doing it. Thank God.
So you have to wonder why everybody's cheering and screaming whenever Kamala Harris enters the room. The people who are doing that have nothing upstairs. Nothing at all. Nothing. She and her running mate would destroy America, as I said in my last video. There's no question about it. Look at what she's done for the past 3.5 years with Joe. She's destroyed the economy. She's destroyed the border. She's the queen of inflation. We have rampant drug use in this country because of all of the criminals coming across our border and raping and killing women, committing crime everywhere. These two are a disaster. So when your daughter is watching TV with you and seeing Kamala Harris on the screen, you have to tell her, don't be like Kamala Harris. I want you to work hard. I want you to get good grades. I want you to achieve. You don't use somebody like Willie Brown to get ahead. You get ahead on your merits. No DEI, merit. And that is what I hope you will tell your daughter. This is Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs. And don't forget, read my book, Duped Again, Why Sophistry Works. Yes, I have a little bit about Kamala Harris in this book. She's a liar. Everybody on the Democrat side talking about how great Kamala is lying to you. The people at MSNBC who are slobbering over her are lying about her. And they're lying about Trump, and they're lying about J.D. Vance. Go to dupedagain.com. Until next time.